What is going on, fellas? And welcome back to the Journeyman with me, FoggyPlays on FM22. We're back a little bit earlier than I said we were going to be. Things have happened. We've had 2 meetings with the bosses of Atalanta, where my job has essentially been on the line. So I've actually come to say goodbye to Atalanta because I've actually been offered a job. When all this started, 2 clubs sacked their managers and I became favourite to take over. So they interviewed me and I'm taking one of them. It is quite the pay rise as well, I might add. So leave a comment down below before the episode starts who you think we're going to be moving to, just short of a year at Atalanta. Kind of regret the time we had here. Not in the sense that it was bad, it's just I regret that things didn't work out quite as I had hoped. But if you do go on to enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let's get into the video. Hey fellas, so since we were here last, as you can see, form has been tremendously poor. We have been absolutely useless. Losing to Udinese, to be fair, we didn't really deserve to lose that game. It was just one of those days. We only have like 2 centre backs most of the time because the Argentinian dude spends a lot of time out injured. Then against Genoa, we had our left back sent off, and then he picked up an injury then after that. So he's complaining about not getting in a first team football. It's like, whatever. Yeah, we didn't do great against Genoa, but our Andorran striker scored, which was nice. And then against Roma, we were meh. I've actually beaten Jose Mourinho to the job that we're taking. So that's interesting. But again, our Andorran striker scored yet again. And then we played against Inter. We had literally a meeting just after the Roma game where I was like, things aren't going our way. It's all gone a little bit fucky wucky. So I was like, just give me a bit of time. And then I realised we were playing Inter next, and I was like, well, we're fucked. But we ended up beating Inter Milan, which was fantastic. Cacciatore decided to start scoring again. He hadn't scored since the game against Udinese, and Jose Rodriguez scored his 3rd goal in 3 games, which was delightful. And then we got beaten by Torino, and we just could not score on the night. Like, we had so many chances to score. Was it Cacciatore? I think it was Cacciatore. It was just shocking. He missed so many shots. We hit the crossbar post so many times. It was insane. But then we just had a meeting after the Torino game, and I was like, just give me a month, I can sort everything out. And we went beat Cagliari 4-2. Just a casual 4-2. Give 2 players debuts in this game. To be fair, they both came on when we were already 3 up. I think it was 3-0 when I brought the 2 of them on. As you can see, didn't really work out for us. We conceded 2 goals, but we still managed to win 4-2. Jeric scored, and Ferraro scored himself a cheeky little hat-trick. But we are leaving the club much better off than when we joined. The overall balance is a lot better, a lot more secure than it was when we joined. We were in debt when we joined. We have 17 and just shy of 18 million in the bank, with 14 million to spend in the upcoming January, and a decent amount of wage budget. Oh yeah, we also took the Ireland job. Ireland got they missed out on World Cup qualifier, finished 4th in their group, wherever. Yeah, so Belgium, Norway, Finland, Ireland, and Kazakhstan. We finished bottom of the teams that had a chance, and yeah, they sacked Stephen Kenny and came to meet them, and I think it was Iceland. Iceland came to us and said that I think it was Ireland and Iceland offered me the job, and Ireland were offering me £10,000 more a week, so I took it. And then I got offered the job at the club that we're moving to, which will be popping up in but a moment. So if there's looking at the club, there's a couple of players I wouldn't mind bringing with me. Jeric, I think he's got plenty of potential. Maybe Doku, he's kind of gotten an awful lot better recently as well. I wouldn't mind bringing Ferraro with me because I think he'd be quite a good striker if given the opportunity. Cacciatore as well, pretty decent player. Kind of like Rodriguez. I think he could be like the leading player for this team. Nicholas Rodriguez is he's that player that's constantly unavailable, which is just a little bit annoying. And I wouldn't mind bringing Alseth and Bamura, because I think the two of them have massive potential. Because Alseth's just after winning, was it the Norwegian Player Association Young Player of the Year just recently. So that's pretty good. I'm hoping I'm one of his favourite personnel. I am not. But he is a wonder kid. He'd want to be. 17 years old. Yep, still 17. And I think he could easily make it into the first team of a lot of teams in the world. We did have a contingency plan in place where the club I'm taking over, if we didn't get offered that job, the guy who was favoured to take over the job, I was hoping to take his position. But we've just taken the job at the club originally. One of the clubs that did come in for me was Hertha Berlin. They never offered me the position. They did offer me an interview before the team were about to take over. But who do you think it is? Like I said, leave a comment before this screen pops up. Would be nice for people to guess. Bit of interaction would be nice. The club is, if it's ever going to appear, I thought that it was going to pop up straight away. Yeah. Ta-da! We've joined Man City. We've yeah. I say, look, players rejected the offer from Iceland. Clarence Seedorf was the favourite. Was he? Not from what I could see. It was Niko Kovic, who was Real Madrid manager, and that was my backup plan. Real Madrid, which probably shouldn't be your backup plan, but here we are. Sure to spark plenty of heated debate. I have left Atalanta to join Man City. To be fair, I was on the verge of a sack. So the fact that they've gotten I think it's £1 million, they must be pretty happy. First game in charge would be against West Ham in the Premier League. Players will face pressure to bring immediate success to the Etihad Stadium. Because I think they're 8th in the league. Man City have been disappointing in the Premier League so far this season, finding themselves in 8th place, which I did check that beforehand. Man City have won 3 of their last 5 games in the league. Man City have won 2, lost 2 and drawn 1 in their last 5 matches. We are also true in the Champions League group stage. That's the word I was looking for. So we have a somewhat aged side, I would say. Harry Kane, I think, is the highest earner. I think it said down here. He is retiring at the end of the season. So they want us to play attacking football, signing high reputation players, developing players using the club's youth system, entertaining possession football, signing young players to develop for profit, work within wage budget, minimum 4-year contracts for first team players, maximum 1-year contract for players over the age of 33. They want us to reach the final of the Champions League, which is part of the reason I really wanted to join, because I think this series has had enough twists and turns in it that we just go and win the Champions League this year, and that would be fantastic. The fact we've come from a club that didn't even make Europe last season to a Champions League team is pretty good. So they only want us to qualify for the Champions League, which I think we should be able to do. They want us to just essentially win everything forever. So our contract is £125,000 a week for 3 years. So until 2032. And as you can see, we are 2 days away from the first game of the season, which we're going to do in this episode as well. But as I said, the club is a little bit on the aged side. Harry Kane, Ederson, Sterling, Grealish, Diaz, Florian Mueller, Valverde, Bruno Mendes, Porro, and Isak are all over 30, and that's just in the first team. That's 10, just 10 players. Nobody under the age of 20 in the first team, but we do have some good players by the looks of it in the under 23s. Robbie Curran is a player that is in the I'm putting into the Irish team, so hopefully I can get him playing decent football and maybe get him more of an opportunity in the Irish team as well. We have a decent youth setup, but not a huge amount of players. I was looking at the transfers beforehand, and there's only one player that got signed this season, which is interesting. I would have assumed that more players would have been signed, but this is like, we spent 249 million on 4 players last year. Oh my god. And had 50. Okay, what are finances like? We've 186 million in the bank. 182 million to spend in January, which is very simple. We don't have a huge amount of money in the wage budget, just the 100,000 a week. 100 and something thousand a week. That's fine. Looks like we're going to make massive losses. But yeah, form has been fine, I guess. But like I said, we are sitting 8th in the league, just behind West Ham, who are actually our next game, as I said. 4 times on the bounce we've won the league. I think Vincent Kompany was the manager, if I'm not mistaken, who was... What have I done? Just click the right button. Yeah, Vincent Kompany, 3 years in charge, won the league 4 times, got sacked. So that kind of shows you they don't fuck around. Sarri has retired, and Pep Guardiola is Arsenal manager now, having spent time battling me in China. But yeah, we're in for a good one, hopefully. So as I said, Champions League, we topped our group. The only defeat was against Monaco in the last day, but I'm guessing that was just purely because it was chuck a bunch of random players out and see what happens. We're playing Middlesbrough in the next round of the FA Cup. We were knocked out by Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, which is perfect. Don't really want to be fucking around with pointless cups like the Carabao Cup. How many players do we have in our there? Okay, so well, he's retiring, so that's fine. Raheem Sterling, Ederson, okay, Jack Grealish. I think Jack Grealish can probably go. It's not that many players. With contracts expiring, playing time expectations is grand. Our youth intake preview is a good intake. Goalkeepers look not great. Essentially, it's going to be a shit intake. Fantastic. I set up a friendly with Malta for Ireland, so and we have 3 unhappy players at the moment. Okay, so the players not big fans of me. I can definitely sort these 2 just by giving them first team football. That would be fantastic. I'm failing to appease the players. The reputation of most of the players would be higher than mine, which kind of makes sense. So like I said, we'll be back in just a second for the first game in charge against West Ham. I'm going to have to throw a tactic together, because I didn't just spend probably half an hour trying to figure out a tactic that was going to work at Atalanta before the Cagliari game, and now we're doing it again. But we have really, really good players here now. So we will be back in just a second to take on West Ham. Right, fellas, so it is time for us to play our first game in charge of Man City. And we have a little bit of time before the transfer window opens. And what I've discovered is we need a left back. We do not have anybody who can play left back, which is fantastic. So we are just going to do with what we can, what we have. So I've just thrown in just 3 tactics that I think could help, or that could suit the team. And we're going to start with the 4-2-3-1 for the first game. Pellistri is injured, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. And I brought Robert Scanlon up from the under 23s, I think. I think he was in under 23s. He is going to be our backup left back, even though he's right-footed, because we literally have no left-footed left backs. But we're going to be starting with Ederson in goal. Just the 36 years old now. Only played 44 times for Brazil, but look at those attributes. Oh, so I'm playing him as a sweeper keeper on attack. We have club icon, I think it's icon. I don't think he's a legend. Pedro Porro with Ruben Diaz alongside him, who continues just to be an absolute monster at centre back. Look at those mentals. Oh, and those physicals. Like, this guy is just a beast. Then we have Irish international Omobamadile with Gerrard alongside him. Gerrard is the weak link in the team. I think that's just something that Man City always have an issue with, is just left backs. Just Ferland Mendy got sold to AC Milan or PSG, I think it was, in the summer, and they just never bothered replacing him. We have a midfield of Blas and Bellingham. Jude Bellingham actually wants to leave the club, which is not ideal. Adeyemi, Isaac, and Sterling behind Makoko, who will be leading the line for us. This is the first time I've ever gotten to use Makoko outside of a save where I've chucked him in to my own team. But this is a pretty decent West Ham side by the looks of it. Jared Bowen is still there, Declan Rice. They've got David Neres, Jota, and Hudson Odoi, Clement Lenglet, Dale Fry, Ronaldo Sanchez. This is and Farnese as well, who's a very, very good goalkeeper to have. So the players aren't overly enjoying my presence at the club just yet. So I've had a chat with them. Hopefully things are looking good. We're going to go positive rather than balanced, because I do think this is a game. I think we need to come in and just win. I've had a chat with Isaac, and I think it's Antonio. Oh, Raheem Sterling. It's only his second goal of the season. I think, judging by looking at the form of the players, Man City were playing with a 4-4-2, which I think is strange that they were just playing with like a flat 4-4-2. So I do believe this is just a little bit better, to be honest. I think this is a bit more aggressive. And that's what you want in what is essentially the best team in England. I think this is probably the first time we've ever taken over a club where we're the best club in a country. Probably ever. We took over Liverpool in FM, was it 19? They were definitely the team in the Premier League. Yeah, generally speaking, we take over clubs that are not quite the best. Oh, was Makoko offside? I don't think he was. I was going to play Makoko as a pressing forward, but I think an advanced forward suits everything about him more. It's been given. Jude Bellingham gets on the score sheet with his 6th of the season. I'm not quite sure what Vince Company was doing that this team was struggling so much, other than the fact that he was playing a 4-4-2. But we've gotten off to a pretty decent start, to be fair. 10 minutes in, we're already 2 up in the London Stadium. And we do look like we're that much better. Yeah, Karim Adeyemi with his 7th. Okay, this is comfortable. I like this. We went from getting absolutely stomped in Italy just by everybody. Just everybody and anybody was absolutely destroying us. We're just coming along now and we're just casually playing some football against them. Marcus Antonio is the other player that was unhappy with his game time. So I've told Isaac and Antonio that I'm going to give them opportunities in the first team, because, you know, it is Makoko's shot. It's the first time we've seen Farnese or Faranez actually have to do anything really. But Marcus Antonio, I do think he has a place in this team. I think that we do need to get rid of Jack Grealish, and there's a couple of other. I think there's a Brazilian guy called Chris who doesn't look exceptional. So I think they're the only 2 players I'm really kind of looking at going, we could probably do without them. As I said, we definitely need to bring in a left back, like desperately. If Gerrard picks up an injury, we don't really have anyone. Yeah, we don't really, apart from playing Scanlon, and as I said, not a left back. He is a right back. But Raheem Sterling does seem to be enjoying his newfound freedom to just be left run around with his 2nd goal. We're 4 up inside half an hour. It's going to chuck a bit more praise at the lads. I'm surprised, like, there was a Mexican midfielder who was playing for, or there was a Mexican midfielder and a Mexican striker who signed for Man City like 4 years ago. Neither of them ever got an opportunity in the first team. Like, I mean, never played a game. They made massive losses on the two of them, and I was keeping an eye on them because I really hoped my direct football was going to try and sign them because they looked exceptional. And they were like, I think the striker went to get Getafe for like 5 million, and he would have probably walked into our first team. But yeah, he's playing for Getafe, so that's quite frustrating. That quite a very Moukoko gets his goal, 14th of the season. Yeah, Man City have had quite the checkered past when it comes to transfers, but still, they're doing fine. As you can see, 5-0 in our first game. It is West Ham. I'm not going to get too excited. I'm very, very surprised that Jared Bowen and Declan Rice have stuck with West Ham this entire time. Like, that's a long time to be with. It's West Ham. Like, I don't know how good West Ham have been in this world. I can't imagine they're that good. But what do I know? If we win the Champions League this season, it's the end of the save anyway. So it doesn't really matter. The direct football or the assistant wants us to stay on our feet. We do have 3 yellow cards, all in our defence. Not ideal, but this is fine. I have thrown a scout over to Atalanta just to see if any of those players are even decently good at football, according to our scouts. So we'll have to wait and see what happens when that comes through. We are going to bring Antonio on, who is going to be our ball-winning midfielder with his 9 tackling, because Blas does have an injury. I'm not sure what the injury is, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. Now we'll have a quick sconce. Foot injury. It's fine. He was having a great game. Just pop him off. Let him have a bit of a rest. I think he deserves it after everything that's happened so far. Pedro Porro, 51 minutes into the game, with a throw, finds Isaac. Back to Alexander. Moukoko's shot is blocked. And Declan Rice boots it clear. And Hudson-Odoi is on. Gerrard comfortably takes down Ederson, boots it clear. He's not really been as forward as I was hoping he was going to be at some point during this game. I was kind of hoping that we'd see him over here, at the halfway line, but it's fine. Antonio is already getting involved. Gerrard gets the ball across. Can he find Raheem Sterling for his hat-trick? Sterling finds Adeyemi. It's gone through to Moukoko. Moukoko puts the ball in the back of the net. He is just a cheat code. How has Vincent Kompany not been getting this team winning the league? Like, how? We started with was it +7? Like, we could score 7 today. In fact, with an hour gone, I would imagine, not even an hour gone yet, I'd imagine there's a high chance we're probably not going to stop or not have finished scoring just yet. But we'll have to wait and see. Hudson-Odoi gets on the end of it. He's been... Ronaldo Sanchez is on as well. I have to check actually how many substitutions we can make, because I didn't check that. Hudson-Odoi's shot is blocked by Ederson. He is just not in the mood for conceding so far today, it would seem. They've got an XG of 1.04. Haven't put the ball in the back of the net, but we have an XG of 3.2 with 6. Hudson-Odoi's picked up a knock. That is going to be so frustrating for West Ham. They've only just brought him on, and they're going to have to take him off again. 70 minutes in. We have 2 substitutions remaining. What do we have on the bench? Who do I want? Okay, I want to see what Philippe Simon is like. So I'm going to bring him on for Adeyemi. Because he can kind of play anywhere. Like, he is quite the handy player to have in the team. And we are going to bring on Gallagher for... Or wait, no. Bruno, you are... And bring him on for Porro. So Porro can have a bit of a lie down, a sit down, or just a rest. Just a rest in general. He's been running quite a bit. There was a lot of players I wasn't sure were going to be able to start this game. Because it seems like we... or the last game, everyone was kind of just set loose. And whoever was managing that game went, good luck. Have a good time. Because you're all going to be shattered in a couple of minutes. But Simon, I think... what a save by Ederson. Judging by potential, Philippe Simon is potentially our best potential player. Potentially our best potential player. Yeah, we'll go with that. He has the potential to be our best player. So I do want to see what he's like. But you can't not play Makoko up front. Although he can play as a winger, like on the right wing. But I feel like he'd be wasted out there. As you've seen so far, he's been quite good. Pachuco, Ivan Martinez. Interesting. That's going to definitely have helped Jota's rating, which was 5.9. But no, he has an assist. That'll probably bring him up as well. But we do need. I do want 7. So it's going to press. We're going to go attacking for the final little bit. This is just a plug-in standard. Comfortably defended. This is just the literal plug-in gegenpress. So I'm going to tweak it just a little bit, but I said for the first game I did just kind of want to throw something in, get an idea of what the team is like. Diego Jota almost gets another assist, but Jared Bowen's shot gets blocked by one of our defenders. I don't know who it was. Might have been Omobama Diele. I haven't even done my corner routines. I don't think corner routines are that big of a deal, to be fair. And I think we're going to end this game with a 5-goal win. Yeah, we've won by 5, which isn't terrible. Nice work. Well done, lads. You did well. This is acceptable. So that moves us into 7th place. 2 points behind Arsenal. 10 points behind Liverpool, but a lot of the teams ahead of us have games in hand. Man United have 2 games in hand. Leicester City have played a game more than we have. So that's an interesting time for them. Crystal Palace are sitting bottom of the league. Aston Villa just got a new manager as well. Not a club I was overly interested in moving to. I'm kind of glad I didn't move now because... I thought it was... Joachim Löw. I was like, Joachim Löw? No. I haven't actually checked my staff, so don't know what the staff is looking like. I've never checked to see, do we have no transfers coming in, so that's fine. We've nothing to worry about there. The draw for the Champions League knockout round is just before the Bournemouth game, but you're going to have to wait for the next episode to see who we're playing. I think I'll probably come back for Fulham, Newcastle. No, Newcastle. Newcastle are top 14, but Liverpool are the top of the league. Also have a game against whoever we're playing in the Champions League first knockout round. So that'll be the next episode. Champions League first knockout round and Liverpool in the next one. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully that'll be a fruity... And we're playing Liverpool away. How did we play against them the first time we played them? 1-1 draw. Okay, that's fine. We lost to Newcastle. That's no bueno. But yeah, everything seems to be going pretty tasty so far. So if you have enjoyed this episode, do make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.